There seems to be a contradiction between 2 weeks ago you were proposing a 3-week ceasefire. A lot of calls for the Israelis, for all sides, not to escalate. The Israelis have escalated, and now you're saying it's an opportunity for the Lebanese people. So I guess people might see that as disingenuous, that you're kind of happy with this outcome.
So our position on our underlying position on what we want to see for the Lebanese people has been consistent since the outset of this administration. It's the position I just went through: the ability to elect a new president, the ability to break the stalemate that Hezbollah has had over the country. And our position remains that we want to see an ultimate diplomatic resolution to this conflict. But the situation on the ground has changed over the past few weeks, and Hezbollah's leadership has been degraded. Hezbollah's infrastructure has been degraded. It's lost a number of members of its command and control. It's lost some percentage of its arms, its missiles, its rockets. And so the situation on the ground has changed. And so what we want to see come out of this new situation is the ultimate implementation of 1701. And it's just I'll just be very candid. It is a different world you're looking at today than it was several weeks ago. So we wanted to see 1701 implemented several weeks ago. That's been our position. It's been the position of the United States going back to 2006 when it was implemented. But it is a very different situation now, when several weeks ago that would require Hezbollah at the height of its power to decide to pull back from the border to increase security. And Hezbollah today, which has been significantly degraded and now finds itself on the back foot, made clear by the statement they made today calling for a ceasefire for the first time.
And I think you've been saying, you support the idea of a limited incursion by the Israelis in southern Lebanon. But I guess, as we've seen, that as the facts on the ground change, your position basically seems to be, okay, we're okay with the new normal. So if this limited incursion starts to last for longer, at what point will you basically not be okay with the continued operation, which becomes an invasion or an occupation?
So I'm not going to deal with hypotheticals, but the answer to that question is we want to see the implementation of 1701. And what 1701 calls for is Israeli troops back on the Israeli side of the border, Hezbollah pulled back beyond the Litani River, and the Lebanese armed forces and UNIFIL exercising security control over southern Lebanon.